Hi there, welcome to Goonies World. I am Johnny Farrow, also known as Sean. And with me, as always, is the lovely Lunicorn, also known as Lynn.
Hi.
And of course, we have Ryan, also known as Meanie, or Meanie, also known as Ryan. And he is mean.
Terribly, terribly mean, as everyone no doubt knows.
I know. And then finally, we have the eponymous Goonie himself, also known as Colin.
Hello there.
And Ryan is our fearless leader tonight here at the Alamo, man. So why don't you take it away?
Well, not quite at the Alamo at the moment, as you may recall. You have been transported via, well, I was going to say some sort of means, but really it was your own legs more than anything, and you pushed through the this luminiferous barrier into this strange valley where, it had been the wee hours of the morning and pitch dark previously. Well, I say pitch dark, but of course the stars at night are big and bright deep in the heart of Texas. Right. So it wasn't completely black, but you've been transported into a place where it is basically noon and hot. And of course, I don't know how unused to that you would be, being in the central Texas sort of area. So you're probably not terribly but by the way, it had been like around 40 Fahrenheit or something like that, in that vicinity. And when you got transported to this area, it is just insanely. You guess it must be like 100 degrees and humid and bright. The sun shining down on you, and you're sort of have pushed through this barrier, and you find yourself in this valley, and I think I mentioned last time that you can turn around and look behind you back through the barrier, and you see like mountains that were not there before. I mean, this now, granted, you had been in the hill country, as they call it, of Texas, but I mean, not mountains like this, So looking back through the barrier, it does not seem to translate to where you had come from, and you find yourself in this hot, bright, valley. You're kind of at the top of it, and it kind of goes down, in front of you, and then sort of rises back up. And like I described before, you've got these like three mesas. And you can see like a giant lake out in front of you, with some stone ruins kind of beyond the lake. And there's not a lot of trees in the area. It's kind of deserty and rocky, but there are trees here and there. But past the lake and the ruins, you also see kind of like a cluster of trees, a sort of wooded area. So you're just kind of disoriented probably as you've just pushed your way through the barrier into this valley, and So I mean, at this point, it's basically a sandbox. So you can go anywhere and do anything.
Did we? Because I recall us
taking some horses. We each had a horse, and I'm wondering if we actually rode. Did we get off the horses, or did we stay on them when we went through the haze into this place?
Well, I don't actually remember without going back and listening to the last episode, to be honest. I assumed you got off, but that was just me assuming.
I don't know if we ever said we got off. I know we specifically didn't get off when we went to talk to the wise man or whatever he was, but it doesn't really matter to me whether we have the horses or not. So,
yeah, I don't think we specifically said that we had gotten off the horses, but I didn't know if they could.
I don't think we did
pass through there with us or not.
Well, certainly in my mind's eye of the situation as you were pushing through to get through, you would have kind of had to have been dismounted, just because, you know, the old, as Sean said, sort of wise man guy, the uncle of the woman you had talked to, was kind of using his lantern on a pole to kind of point out at places for you to push, and you would have had to push on those specific places with your arms and legs and stuff, and so you couldn't have really had done that being mounted.
Okay,
that works for me.
So yeah, I mean, so I think if I would say that if you were really reluctant to get off the horses and you really wanted to have them here, I would allow it. But generally, I think it would be more logical not to.
Yeah, that's fine. I think we probably just dismounted and then wriggled through the little openings that we could find on foot, and then here we are.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm not trying to take my horse into this weird no man's land. I got too much respect for my horse, even though I just met him.
Well, and I assume, and you guys are all kind of, outdoors people or frontiersmen, or, you know, you have experience kind of in the wilds, I guess, and you can see this barrier is kind of a rectangle, and you can see it's probably, you would guess, 3-ish miles square. It kind of more of a rectangle, really, but you know, cloudless sky and no, you know, fog or haze or anything, and you can see the visibility is really, really good. And there's, I mean, you can pretty much go anywhere you'd like.
I don't recognize them mountains.
No.
Plain old Joe would just like to point out that this may have been a temporal gate rather than a location gate.
Yeah,
I'm just
you
saying.
keep talking about this
Plain old Joe's just saying.
temporal, you know. It looks like a pretty permanent gate to me. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're in Texas anymore. That's, at least not in southern Texas, where I've been. So, and then, this is unfamiliar. I think we ought to explore around a little bit and find out where the hell we are. See if we can find those guns. See if we can find them purple leaf trees and sticks that we're supposed to trust.
Them smoke sticks or whatever there.
Smoke
Trust
sticks.
them smoke sticks.
Yeah.
Eat them from the purple leaf trees so the duck face can't get us. That's what the old feller said.
Supposed to eat a nut from the leaf, from the tree.
Somebody eating a purple nut or a purple leaf tree. So maybe we ought to go check out those trees first, just to pick something.
That is a perfectly reasonable suggestion, I would say. They are, I mean, you will literally need to go. I mean, maybe I didn't make this totally clear. Not that it matters. I'm just pointing it out. Kind of probably the closest thing to you is it seems like it would be one of this big mesa that's rising off to your right. That seems like it would probably be the closest thing to get to. And second to that would be the lake, which is kind of off in front of you and off to your left a little bit. And then beyond the lake are these kind of stone ruins. And then beyond the ruins is that cluster of trees, that sort of wooded area.
Yeah, well, I've never been much of a fan of backtracking, so maybe we start with this here mesa. But I do agree with you on one thing, Jim. We definitely ain't in Texas. I don't know. This could be Utah.
Yeah, because it could be.
It definitely looks more like Utah.
Yeah.
Plain old Joe thinks maybe that their structure might be another gate. I don't know. That might be where I'm supposed to guard and make sure nothing comes out of it to that there Alamo. I don't know.
Well, I don't know what's coming out of that.
I agree. We should just
gate, but I was coming out of your mouth is all kind of crazy and confusing, huh?
Yeah.
But
well, that's because you don't understand temporals. You'll understand soon enough. I believe you will understand soon
I
enough.
don't
Well,
want to
I
understand no
think-
temporals.
You're crazier than a shithouse rat, and I think we ought to just go and explore what we can, and I'm going to ignore plain old Joe for now.
Yeah.
And
Plain old Joe's going to ignore your negativity.
I'm going to ignore you
And
ignoring my negativity.
I'm going to ignore both of
So-
you ignoring each
Well,
other.
I'm going to ignore you, ignoring me, ignoring your.
I think mostly
I
we're
can't
ignoring the
hear
game
you. I
manager. He
can't
keeps trying
hear
to tell us
you.
something.
La 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 la.
I should say the other two mesas, one of them is kind of beyond the wooded area, further on past the lake and the ruins in the woods, and then one is kind of adjacent, kind of rising up out of the ground next to the ruins, just a little bit further to your left. So there, those are the main things you can see from your entry point.
Well, I got a good mental map of the situation here, and we got the mesa, then we got the lake, then we got the ruins, and there's another mesa pretty damn near them ruins. Then we got the cluster of trees, and there's another mesa beyond that. So it sounds like we just take this in order and keep our eyes open, ears open. Of course, we're looking out for some guns, but boy, I don't know if we're ever going to find those guns, especially if this is Utah or some other place.
So where you? I mean, well, the first thing you're going to have to contend with are going to be these kind of streams that are rushing and burbling through the area that are just kind of too wide to really jump over. You could probably do it with a strength save, or you could wade through them with a strength save. But you're kind of hemmed in by them as there are two, one on either side of you, that kind of come down and meet in front of you and head towards the lake. So it sounded like you might be heading towards that nearby or reasonably nearby mesa. Mm-hmm. In which case, you will definitely need to find a way past this first stream.
Well, we had to see the depth of, see if we can just wade through it. Hey,
Yeah, it won't be the first stream I waded through.
Oh, yeah. I'll find a stick or something.
Yeah, and at this elevation, like I said, you're kind of at the top of the valley. It's pretty shallow, maybe a couple feet. So if you don't mind getting wet, you could just wade through it. But it is rushing very quickly, and so I think, and it's probably even wide enough to jump. So either way, if you wanted to wade through it or jump over, either way would just be a strength save. And if you fail, you'll likely fall into it and get sort of rushed downstream. Some random dice roll of distance.
Well, my old friend Georgie Russell always told me I could jump like a polecat. So I'm going to show you right now how that's done. Here we go. And I'm going to get fixing to jump here. Here we go. And I'm going to run. I'm going to give it a jump. And what do you know? I got me a 17 on that. I'm going to hope that's good enough.
That is, well, I don't know what your strength save is right off the top of my head, but that is almost definitely.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking at it right now. That's well enough. That's 4 better than I need. See, Jim, that's how it's done, Jim. That's how it's done, Joe. Just give a nice jump just like that.
Well, I'm a better wader than I am a jumper, so I'm just gonna wade right through. I got sturdy legs, and I can wade through it just like nothing. So I will show you how it's done. I'm 1 short of my save.
Oh, damn. All right. Well,
All right, it's quite a current. I feel the current is strong.
yeah. Unfortunately, Mr. Bowie. Oh my! And I rolled horribly. Tries wading through this stream, and he gets about halfway, and just falls immediately into the rushing current and gets pulled by the current down to the sort of area where these two streams converge. At which point, make a I guess it would probably be a dex save to try to sort of right yourself and stand up.
All right.
I mean, you're at least a couple hundred yards downstream at this point.
Natural 20.
Oh shit! Well, you hop right out. In fact, with a natural 20, I will say you hop up onto your feet and out onto the bank you're wading toward.
Dang, Bowie, that's a polecat right there. Good job.
Hey.
Yeah, you're really just a maybe like 200, 300 yards away. So it's a kind of a long distance, but it does not take you really any time to sort of meet back up. And then what about Joe?
It looked like plain old Joe that Mr. Crockett's method had a little bit more success than Mr. Bowie's. So I'm going to try plain old Joe's going to jump. Oh, I got a 16. Yay, I didn't think I was going to make it.
All right. I'm assuming that's probably a success because that's quite high.
Yes.
So
my strength save is 14. So
excellent. So you leap across and you find yourselves on the opposite side. I guess we would call it the west side of the stream, which you will now have to find a way across. For example, if you wanted to get back to the lake or the ruins or etc. But we can worry about that if and when that becomes an issue. And you begin trekking your way towards this largest, well, it's not the largest, sorry, closest mesa. And as you do so, you begin hearing, and you can hear before you can see. Now you're kind of heading downhill, but the hill that you're on sort of steeply descends in front of you, and you can hear some strange noises that sound like animalistic sort of growling and howling, and then, but interspersed between the animalistic sort of noises, some Spanish, very clearly. And I don't know how much you sort of speak Spanish, or any of you, but
I speak it very well.
There is. Go ahead.
I said I speak it very well.
Oh,
it's
yes.
a Spanish monster. It's a damn chupacabra. That's what we got there. Sounds like to me.
And you crest this hill, or well, in the opposite way. You come to the point where you could see over the sort of edge, looking down, and you see dozens, at least a couple dozen large, very large lizards with these horned, so like they have these like weird little like almost bird-like beaks. They're quadrupeds, but they have like these weird bird-like beaks and these strange horns. They almost look like triceratops, but they're not. They have like one big horn coming out the middle of their snout going up, and then like a big plate kind of behind with horns sticking off of it. But amidst these couple dozen dinosaurs, for lack of a better word, you see 5 Mexican soldiers, and one of them is mounted upon one of these dinosaurs, like a horse almost, and he seems to be well. And again, if Bowie speaks Spanish, you can tell that he's like castigating. He seems to be like the leader or the officer, and he's like castigating these other men for not just jumping on one of these dinosaurs and riding it the way he is. And they have not noticed you. So you're basically just standing there, and you're looking down and, below you down this slope, and you see this guy riding a dinosaur and yelling at his men to buck up and get on the dinosaurs.
Oh, that's an ugly.
Plain old Joe warned you that was probably a temporal gate. Now what do we got here? We got dinosaurs.
I don't even know what a dinosaur is, man. That's just one ugly, some bitchin' lizard-like bull or something, man. I don't know.
This is what's going on. We're just dreaming. This ain't real. Okay, now I don't even think we made out of the Alamo. I think we're still there. We're sleeping, having a weird dream, and we're gonna wake up in a minute now. Yep.
Plain old Joe's seen lots of times, over the years of his traveling. And plain old Joe's telling you that's what they call those things. They call them dinosaurs. But I guess it's like a few hundred years or something before you people know what those are, when we start studying the geologies and that kind of thing.
Actually, now that you'd mention it, though, now that we're going to percolate in my mind a bit, when I was in Congress, I remember some fella, I had to go to a lot of lectures, boring like continuing education classes and whatnot. And I remember this fellow, William Buckland at Oxford, he done talk about something called dinosaur. And so maybe this is what he's talking about.
Yeah, they once ruled this here planet.
Well,
I heard it.
And
heard of dragons, but I don't believe them. I didn't believe the stories. It's just fantasy.
Listen, this is real important now. Now, I know I said earlier, or plain old Joe said earlier, trying to remember to talk about myself in the third person because it's fun. Plain old Joe said earlier that, that the battle, Alamo, sometimes Texans win, sometimes Mexicans win. Doesn't really matter. But what does matter is that none of those dinosaurs get out into the time stream that we just came from, because
Jim Bowie just jumped out of that time stream. I jumped over it, so I don't know that it was I still don't know what you're talking about, but since you're the big expert around here now, it seems to me if we were to somehow herd these animals, and get them to stampede, go right through Santa Anna's army, if we could herd them that way, I got a little cowboy experience. It was Virginia, so, I don't know how much of a cowboy you can be. I quit after a couple of weeks, I don't like to overseer, but maybe there's something to that. Here's my question. We ain't going to let these Mexicans here ride these dinosaurs all the way to the Alamo, but what are we going to do about it? And there's several dozen of them big son of bitches out there, and I don't know, maybe we'll just keep an eye and see how well this fella who thinks he's a rodeo master is doing. What do you think, Bowie?
Well, I'm still trying to collect my thoughts on this, but and I don't want to alarm you, but I have been grievously injured in our last altercation with the Mexican army, bleeding out a little bit, but I'm okay for now. Ain't gonna stop me. Also, I've been suppressing a cough. Oh, no, I can't no longer suppress it anymore. I just don't know where I came down with a cough, but maybe that stream didn't help me. Nothing seemed to make it
Plain
worse.
old Joe can't help with no cough, but I do have some bandages for the bleeding.
Well, yeah, that would.
Plain old Joe to wrap that up
And
for
while
you.
we're figuring out,
He can do
while
that.
we're figuring out what to do here, let's us duck, because right now the Mexicans ain't just looked up the hill.
man. Let's
And
get
of
low.
course, I don't know if we're upwind or downwind. I don't need them big humpy dinosaurs smelling us.
Well, I was just about. You may have seen me. That may have been instigated by seeing me pick up a dice here, because I am going to roll to give them a chance to spot you, of course. And they do not. They are clearly preoccupied with trying to rustle up their, dinosaurs. So.
All right, yeah, let's drop down low, and while we're down here, you bandage me up some.
All right, that sounds good. Plain old Joe manage you up. I just gotta say that, man and dinosaur, I ain't never seen that in any temporal stream. I never heard about that. It's quite weird. It's not what I was expecting when he was warned about the dinosaurs. So yeah, this is mighty strange, because men and dinosaurs, they don't mix.
I notice none of the dinosaurs is eating them Mexicans, so either they don't like Mexican food, or maybe they grazers. Maybe they
Well,
grazers, just like a buffalo.
They got beaks, I see.
Well,
so they probably eat plants.
Hey, maybe that fellow, when he's talking about them duck faces, maybe that's what that is.
Well,
Could be.
it's very possible that we got some herbivores
Well, now see it.
in the mix. We'll be lucky if that's all we get, though, because some dinosaurs pretty fierce. I mean, those look like they could be grazers. You're right about that. Good on you, especially since you don't know nothing about no dinosaurs in this time frame.
All I know is they ain't eating Mexicans.
Now, but I have
Yeah,
to.
they don't seem to be afraid of these humans. They seem, if anything, to be kind of annoyed by them, but they don't seem to be aggressive at all, at least right at the moment.
And I just wanted to say that these beak-headed lizards probably aren't the duck faces, because ducks have bills, not beaks. Yeah, well, I know that.
Well, I
much.
guess you're right about that. Dang it, Bowie, you was always right. All right.
Yeah. Well, now does the bandaging actually help it with any hit points at all, or is that just for flavor?
I do not know. I just know that it is in my list of equipment that I have them.
Then I say I rule get a D4 back.
All right. 3 back. Yeah, I'm feeling better.
Because we're kind of just playing the made-up D&D style GM makes all the rules system. So.
Yeah, well, that's the OSR, man. Except I think I think it's something like that's probably about right. It's close.
So you're kind of standing, well, and now ducking, really, I suppose. And these guys have not seemed to notice you, but they do seem to be making progress in terms of, there were 5 of them, like the commander guy on the dinosaur, and then 4 others. And there are, in fact, I'm going to just roll and see one of them has managed to actually, mount one of these creatures. So now there are two of them that are mounted. And they continue to sort of encourage the rest of them, the three remaining men, to get over it, basically. Grow some balls and get to jump on these damn dinosaurs.
We gotta disrupt this activity somehow. We can't let them get their dino rides going, and they be unstoppable. Maybe we could
Plain old Joe agrees.
Yeah, maybe we can frighten the dinosaurs so they start bucking, and they buck off these Mexicans. Get them riled up somehow.
You want me to fire old Bessie into the air? Take a shot over there, make a big old loud boom.
Yeah, that might do it. Of course, that would alert them to our presence, but...
That's true. Well, maybe you could, you said you're good crawling on your belly like a snake. You could slither up there and poke one of them big buck dinosaurs in the ankle. Getting tall grass. Don't get stepped on now.
I don't get trampled. Maybe. Is there any, big boulders on this mesa, that we could try to roll down the slope?
Well, you're not. I mean, you're still quite a distance away. I mean, at this point, you're at least 300-ish yards from the actual mesa itself. So you can't really. I mean, there are definitely rocks and stuff and boulders, but you'd almost have to. You have to get past these guys all the way to the mesa, because they're kind of in this little almost clearing area between the stream and the mesa. So if you wanted to get any of the boulders or rocks at the mesa, you'd have to get sort of past them in order to do so.
Think we could sneak past them somehow? I mean, they did.
Plain old Joe's pretty darn sneaky, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, but you are sneaky. They look pretty distracted. I suppose we could try to slip on past there, and then we could get to the mesa itself and roll some boulders down there, and might even take out some of the Mexicans. And they might think that's a natural occurrence and not people up there. They probably don't expect any other people in this area.
Plain old Joe thinks that's a pretty good idea, Mr. Bowie.
Yeah, I might be persuaded to go along with that. Just make sure you're right, then go ahead.
Well, I know I'm right.
Well, if you know you're right, now I'll trust you, Bowie.
But
so it sounds like the intention is to sneak past the Mexicans attempting to basically lasso and ride these dinosaurs. Okay. Very well. I know, or at least I think I remember Joe having the stealth skill. Does anybody else have the stealth skill?
No, mine's not marked.
No, my stealth ain't marked.
All right. Well, with Joe sort of leading the way, then being the sort of expert in this, I would say Joe would. Well, let's let everybody make a dex save, and I'm going to give them kind of an opposed roll. Oh dear.
Okay. +2. I need a 12 or higher, and I got a natural 20 now. Look at that. That's how you do it right there.
Snap.
I got right on mine, which is 13 by save.
And Joe is making a face there. I'm kind of.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got a 7.
Oh, Joe.
That's even with my skill bonus. Now,
Oh, dang it! I thought you said you were sneaky.
I do have some luck. I don't know if this is the right time to spend it or not.
Well, it wouldn't. It couldn't hurt. But I'll leave it up to you.
Let's go and spend it. We don't need one joker screwing up a perfectly good sneak.
16, 18 even with skill bonus.
All right.
Better.
Well, and they they rolled a 10, so in opposition, so they would have spotted you on the previous roll, but with the luck, you guys managed to sort of sneak past them. Of course, they are distracted as well, and just as you're sort of getting beyond where they could likely have spotted you, they the remaining, because this takes you, I mean, you're kind of crawling through the brush, hands and knees. I mean, this is taking you some time. It's not like you're just walking at a normal walking pace across these couple hundred yards or whatever. So during this time, all of the remaining soldiers managed to get mounts, and then they, just as you're kind of getting towards the mesa, almost where you would feel comfortable standing up, they take off.
Dang it.
On these mounts, and the rest of the sort of herd begins to kind of disperse off to the south. The Mexican soldiers take off towards the north. As far as where they're going, who knows. But so you can basically at that point kind of stand up and just walk normally because there's nobody to spy you. And as you approach the mesa, now kind of on foot, as all these dinosaurs and Mexicans have dispersed, you begin to see limbs. Like, this is a very steep mesa, and you see like boulders. Well, you had been looking for rocks and boulders before, and now, of course, they're even clearer to see. But you see like limbs and horse parts, horse legs and legs and arms and stuff sticking out from piles of boulders, as though almost like, or not boulders necessarily, but rocks and debris and dirt, as though like a landslide had fallen upon them and crushed them or something. It's you can't even count how many there would be, but it looks like you've got at least some half dozen plus human and equine corpses sort of crushed under rocks and debris.
Well, it looks like somebody had the same idea as I had. Push some boulders down there, start a rock slide, and kill a bunch of folks and horses.
And as you sort of come around one of these, the side of this sort of pile of debris that looks as though it has slid down upon these poor victims, you see a cannon, like a 12-pound cannon sitting upon a carriage with a broken wheel.
Ah, shucks. We ain't gonna get that out there unless we fix that wheel.
Yeah, I never know we'll be dragging it for a while. I'll say we mark it so we know it's there.
Yep. Yeah, let's take a note of its location.
Yeah, make note.
Yeah, hopefully we can get that. If we can find the others, and even if we just have one gun, it'll be better. We'll stand a good chance with just one gun, I think.
Well, and I say, maybe we take you never know, maybe we get one of these here dinosaurs to pull it. But,
Plain old Joe agrees that guns would be nice to have in this battle, but he also thinks that we got to keep these dinosaurs away from the Alamo. In fact, now that y'all know a little bit more, I got to tell you that's my mission from the temporal investigation unit, was to, I knew that these dinosaurs were going to make it, they're going to the Alamo, is what's happening. They're going to escape into this era, this temporal era that we are living in right now, or that y'all are living in. I'm living in all kinds of eras. I just got to tell you, I just jump around, but we got to keep them dinosaurs. We can't let any of them escape into the world. Not one.
Well,
because they will wreak havoc.
okay, well, now, you got your orders. I don't know who this investigative unit is that you're taking orders from, but it doesn't sound like, American orders. Who are you working for? Sound like turncoat or something.
Well, Mr. Bowie, I'll tell you, I'm a time travel. When I refer to things that are temporal, I am talking about time. I know you think it temporary, but that's not true. I'm talking about time. It is apparently a word that is not used in regular conversation these days, but it will be eventually. Everybody will know what temporal means, and in the future, there ain't all this, what do they call it, like nationalism. Everybody is more of a come together, try to love one another right now.
Oh, that sounds
vibe.
Terrible.
He's a member of the Whig Party.
Oh, it's
then.
it's
Okay.
wonderful. Peace on earth. Peace on earth. It's going to be great. I promise.
For everyone?
But not if dinosaurs get loose. Yes. But not if dinosaurs get loose in the world. Then everything's going to be blown all to hell. Dinosaurs, they ruin everything.
Well, I'll tell you,
Believe me.
You know who else ruins everything is that damn Santa Annie. So, one way or the other, maybe we, even if we don't be dragging this big gun around right now, let me take a quick look at that, see if I can't fix that wheel. I done fixed a few wagons in my time. I ain't no Wainwright, but I'm handy. Let me see if we can't do that. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's heavy. 12-pound gun, I'm not sure we can be dragging that around or not, but maybe between the three of us. So let me see if I can't fix this wheel real quick, and I'll go over to the wheel and just see if there's any way to. I don't have any tools or anything, but
Actually, I have ability of woodworker. I have +2 on any rolls involving carpentry and woodworking.
well, hell, you get over here and do it then.
Yeah, I could take a look at it. I know what I'm doing.
Well, Mr. Bowie starts taking a look at it, and you do think it's fixable, and you think you could fix it. You think it would probably take a couple hours, and some carpentry tools that you do not currently have, unfortunately, but it's definitely doable. But as you're inspecting this wheel, a very large lizard appears at from around one of the sides of the mesa. He's like about halfway up, and just makes this horrible noise, like a cross between a howl and a growl. And he has this this huge spiked tail, with which he begins slamming boulders off this trail that he's on down into your area. Everybody make a dex save.
Uh-oh.
It's a terrible lizard.
I swear to God, I just got another natural 20. 2 in a row.
Oh, and I swear to God, I just failed by 1 again on my save.
I failed by 2.
I'm going to keep this bright white dice I'm using here.
Oh, dear. All right. Well, so success sounds like Mr. Crockett succeeded. And that will be, for success, a 1d4 damage. But failure, I wince to even say this, but failing that dex save means that you are hit by one of the rocks directly, and will take 1d12 damage.
Okay.
Okay, I took 3 points of damage myself.
Ooh, I took
Me too.
6.
Thank God. Ooh.
And then we may roll initiative.
Oh, wait. I was rolling initiative like a different game system.
Are we rolling D20s for initiatives or sixes?
20.
Yeah, 20.
D20s?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I
you've
have
got
a 15 for my initiative.
it tells you
8.
if you have like a bonus or something initiative. I got a +1 on
Yeah.
mine.
I mean, it's just your initiative score. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got Davy Crockett with a 15.
I had an 8.
Okay.
I have a 2.
2. Holy crap.
You slow as hell, man.
Better to get a crit failure now than, or a fail,
Right,
you know what I
yeah.
mean. Yeah, critical failure now than in the midst of battle.
All right. Well, it sounds like Davy Crockett will go first.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to fire old Betsy here. It's a good thing I reloaded her. There you go. I'm going to aim nice. I got a +3 to hit. I don't know what armor class we're going for, but we're going to find out. I have a 19, 20, 21, 22 total. I'm going to hope that
Well,
hits.
that will.
We're 2d6 +2 for our damage. It's going to be 11 points of damage.
Holy shit.
That's all right. That's how we do it back in Tennessee.
All right. Well, then it is this large dinosaur's turn, and he, being hit, scrambles higher onto the mesa. He was about halfway-ish up, and begins thwacking his giant tail against more rocks. Down into your vicinity. So I guess, make dex saves again.
Oh no! This time I failed it. Let me roll a d12.
Ooh. I succeeded this time.
So did I?
I failed and I take 4 more points of damage.
If you fail, you take a d12.
Yeah, I rolled a d12 and got lucky and I rolled a 4.
And d4 on success. So, all right. And so that will make it Joe's turn.
You got some kind
All
of
right.
fancy time traveler gun or something there?
Actually, I do. I'm going to break out my dinosaur laser.
Well, now hell, that sounds like the right tool for the job.
What in tarnation is that?
Yeah, so Joe produces this large, completely foreign-looking object and points it at this spike-tailed dinosaur.
And I got an 18.
Ooh, armor class of 17, so that will hit. Roll damage.
4d12.
Yep.
So I only have 2 right here, so. Okay, oh man. Okay, 9 so far. That could have been rolled better. That's too bad. 17 total.
That's still pretty damn good. But it does not put him out, so that's going to go to Mr. Bowie.
Come on, Bowie. Do it, Bowie.
Well, I can't rightly compare to that. I just got this revolver. I would go up there and wrestle it and gut it, but I'm pretty hurting right now. And I still think I'm dreaming, but anyways, I guess I'll fire my revolver. Okay. Oh, natural 20.
Hey.
Holy smokes. All right. We're calling that double damage, so.
Okay. So, the damage.
Come on, boy. Get him.
1d6 plus 1. Oh, oops. Okay, do we just add the plus 1 and then double it?
That would be what I would do.
Yep.
Okay, so that would make it 10 total.
There you go.
10 more. All right, and this lizard creature wails in pain, but does not go down. Mr. Crockett, what can you do now?
I'm reloading my rifle for the next 3 rounds. Seriously, man, I'm going fast. Yeah. But if I have to get up there and wrestle him like a bar, I'll do it. But for now, I'm reloading.
All right, well, this guy has taken significant damage, particularly thanks to the dinosaur laser, which I should point out is very powerful, but which also has a very limited number of uses.
Yes.
Oh! And unfortunately, Spiketail Sam fails his morale check and scurries off back whence he came, back around the corner, and disengages.
Let's try Spiketail. You run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna finish loading this rifle.
That's pretty lucky. Dinosaurs don't easily run.
well, we did pretty good. We hurt that dang old monster pretty good, I think, considering we ain't from the future except for one of us, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm curled up in bed in the Alamo in my pajamas, and I'm sleeping, and I'm just gonna wake up in a minute now.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'll tell you what we ought to do, and I hope I'm not overstepping my bounds here, but I did a quick little bit of research, and this is called OSR, but obviously from the way these character sheets are set up, this is sort of a simplified 5e, And if that being the case, may I suggest that if we take a short rest for an hour, we can roll our hit die to try to heal up a little bit before we take a rest.
I have no issue with that at all.
In that case, we can roll a d10 if we're willing to sit here and rest for an hour and get that many hit points back.
I'm willing. I don't think I'm willing to do much else than sit here and rest.
Yeah, I'm pretty hurt. Well, I'll get 5 back, so.
Ooh, get 8 back.
All right.
I got 10 back.
Of course, we lost an hour, but
I wish someone else could have gotten that roll, because...
All right, well, so you have, you found one of the cannon you had come looking for, anyway.
Yeah.
The carriage does need some repair that you can't quite do right at the moment just because you don't have the requisite tools. But you may be able to fashion some tools, or there may be tools available somewhere.
Yeah. I reckon that maybe there's some ruins.
Yeah.
We ought to check out them ruins, see if they've got any tools lying around.
Yeah, let's head for those ruins. We got to pass by the lake on our way anyway, so let's get a look at the lake, and hopefully there ain't no lake dinosaurs popping up out of the water.
Well, duck face does sound like maybe something that might live in the lake.
Yeah, that's dang disturbing.
Hope we can find some nuts on the way, hopefully.
Well, it sounds like you will be heading east in the direction of the ruins / lake, which are basically adjacent to each other, north and south. So you head that direction knowing that you've secured, at least you know the location of one of these cannons. And you've come a bit further south as well, and you find when you get to the stream that you would need to cross to get to the ruins and the lake, that there is actually a pine tree that has fallen and spans the area across this sort of stream, where you could actually cross it kind of like a bridge, right? And could, from this location, basically go directly towards the wooded piney area, the ruins, or the lake, as you would so choose. However, I will say everyone make a wisdom check first. Or wisdom save, I should say.
Critical failure.
I am staggeringly unwise, friends.
Yeah, I failed, even if it isn't a skill, or if it is, even if that was based on a skill, I still failed it.
All right, well, yeah, so you don't notice something as you approach this sort of, or as you cross this stream into this area where you can then sort of disperse off into whichever direction you would choose. But I think that, a couple minutes shy, but I don't want to get launched too deep into something else. So I will just ask, where do you think of these three potential locations? It sounded like the ruins might be...
Yeah.
Where you were heading?
Plain old Joe would like to check out those
I
ruins.
think that's where we're most likely to find something we can fashion into some kind of tools, or we can get this cannon out of here. We can't forget we're on a mission, for William Travis. And we can get real sidetracked with these here dinosaurs. Maybe you are dreaming, Bowie, but I'll say we head towards them ruins. We can always check out that lake on the way back if we have to.
And did you say the ruins were like in a wooded area?
They're just north of a wooded area?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like the ruins, the lake, and the woods are all kind of smushed together, but they're basically north and south of each other. Like lake is furthest north and it's just south of the lake are the ruins, and just south of the ruins are the woods.
I think getting to where some trees are would be smart, so we can look for some nuts before we encounter any other dinosaurs.
Not a bad idea. And if you're looking for some of that smoke wood, there's
too.
a bunch of trees.
Yeah.
You might find one. So.
Yep, I agree. And so...
All right, well, it sounds like we'll be heading to the ruins for the very next episode.
All right, we'll see you then, folks.
Hey everybody, if you like our podcast, don't forget to leave us a good rating and or review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, or wherever you're able. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at Goonies_world, and check out our website at GooniesWorldPodcast.com. Email us at GooniesWorldPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.